Alrighty, friends, it's me. I'm here. I'm going live because, my dreams are bigger than my fears. I share my story all the time with people, but for some reason, when you go live here, you get crazy nervous. So I'm doing it anyway because I've been challenged to do so. So here we go. Everybody has a story to tell. It's just your choice if you share it, right? So we have numerous stories. I could write a book about all the stories in our life because I love to tell them. So I'm going to tell you one of mine, one that's been life-changing. For my husband and I, we got married 20 years ago. And when we did, we both were in the agreement that when we did raise children, that I would stay home and raise the kiddos and he would go to work. Now, we are both teachers by trade. I went to school. I knew at the age of like 8 that I was going to be a teacher. I went ahead and got my master's degree in education with an emphasis on ESL and special needs kiddos, which is so intriguing to me because now we are raising our kids overseas and ESL is quite often very handy. So I'm thankful for that. It's also my love and desire to help kids on the spectrum has also come in very handy throughout my life because they have a special place in my heart. Anywho, so when I decided to stay home, it was my choice. I wanted to raise our children that way, and my husband supported that because he grew up with a mama that was at home when he was at home. So, in doing that, teachers don't make a ton of money. We all know that. That's like, they're not paid for what they do. And so, with me being at home, things were tight. Maybe you can identify with that. Things were like crazy tight to the point where when we did have a major blow up, we weren't financially prepared because we were living paycheck to paycheck. And when that happened, it happened big for us. We were faced with a lot of crazy things in a short amount of time that ended up with us having tons of debt for medical bills. We almost lost our 3-year-old son. Some of you were friends with Brian and I when we went through that. And it was super hard, super humbling. And it was great, though, in the aspect of now I can look back and see the gifts that came from that trial. I'm learning to really realize that when we go through trials, it's not just so that, we can say, woe is me, or why is this happening to me? But instead to say, what can I learn from this? And where's the gift that God has for me in this trial? And so one of the things that we learned through that trial of almost losing our kiddo was that God had a better plan for us in the aspect of health and wellness. And so he showed that to us. We thought we were healthy people, but we didn't know that we had so much to learn. And when we did, I joined a multi-level marketing company and did it not because I ever wanted to sell anything to anyone, only because I wanted to better our family in the area of health and wellness. And that was one piece of the puzzle. And as we did that, guess what? Whether I joined to be a business owner or not, God had better plans, and I just started sharing the life-changing things that I saw for my kiddos. I started sharing at Bible study. I started sharing at the park, at the swimming pool, at the grocery store, not because I wanted to even make a buck. I actually called the company and told them, I don't know why you're paying me. I'm not doing this to make money. I'm doing this because it's for our family. I wish that I would have listened back then. That was 13 years ago. I wish that I would have paid attention to the fact that God pretty much dumped a blessing in my lap from a trial. And I chose to reject it in a lot of ways because I didn't see myself as valuable. I didn't see that I had something to offer other people, that I had been a teacher by trade, and this was something that I could still continue to teach other people with and educate them while staying at home with my children. And so, and a way to make money to help us pay those bills that we were drowning in. But it took me about 8 or 9 years, probably about 8 or 9, to realize that, maybe I should be smarter here. I actually had a dear friend, Marissa Sprague, say, you could be smarter with this, and I see you. It was kind of creepy. She said, I've been watching you. I've watched you at the grocery store, at the park, at church, at all these different events. People want to know what you have to teach them. Maybe you should start teaching classes. And I said, nope, don't know enough, not doing that. She said, what if I come alongside of you? Isn't that the beauty of friendship? When a friend sees that you have something to offer the world, encourages you, and then says, I'll do it with you. So she did that. And when we did that together, my living room was full the first night, and I was freaking out, hyperventilating in the kitchen, and she pushed me into the living room. I said, "What do I do?" And she said, "Teach them what you know." And that's what I did. And thus began the journey of really owning our business like a business rather than a hobby, and rather than just, I realized that I was enabling a lot of people rather than helping them change their life. And so yes, by doing that financially, there's been a blessing in that. As, let's be honest, as we raise kids and I stay at home, my husband's still a teacher. And so having the extra income to, they want to do sports. I have a kiddo going to college in a year. I have kiddos that all seem to need braces. Well, what's up with that, right? And for me to be able to provide that for the kids is a huge blessing. And I would have missed those blessings if I hadn't listened to my friend say, "Hey, why don't you be a little smarter here?" And if I hadn't just really wised up to say, I have something to offer my friends if they're willing to, take a look. And so when I did that, I'm just thankful. Thankful because I can see the beauty in the future. The sky's the limit for our family, and it is for your family too. Wherever you're at, I know that God has taken us through the darkest times. Not to say that there's not dark times again, because that's not how our Lord works. But I do know that we are financially prepared if there's another dark time or a trial that we can bless other people with if they're going through something similar that we've gone through. That we've been faced with, ectopic pregnancies. We've been faced with having our water shut off. We've been faced with having our electricity shut off. We've been faced with hours on the phone negotiating to pay medical bills. We've been faced with suicide and the loss of a lot of people that we love in our lives. And life is just hard, and it's better together. And so coming alongside one another, I've just found a great community, fellowshipping with other people in this lifestyle. Together, we can do big things. And so, like I said, speaking of big things, my dreams are bigger than my fears. Therefore, I've gotten on this live, I've faced the challenge, I've completed it, and I thank you for listening. If nothing else, I hope you have a great day. And when I say I love you, there's a lot of hate going around in this world right now. And so even if you're like, "Erica, I've met you once. How can you say I love you?" Well, guess what? There's people that never meet anybody and are haters. So if I have met you once and I say I love you, I mean it from the bottom of my heart. So have a great day wherever you are. If you want to know more, you can always reach out to me. Thank you. Bye-bye.